Yo, what's going on YouTube? My name's Kane and welcome back to another video. We are back with our wrestling reviews. We do it for every show, as you know. I might even start doing it for NXT. We are doing some WWE SmackDown Live results review, in-depth review. We're going to be taking a look at everything that went down on the August 9th edition of Raw. It's currently the 10th and it's 7:27, and in exactly 24 hours, which is crazy, WWE will be in my home state, city, in the capital city of Victoria. They will be here and they will be performing, and I don't know what I'll be doing at that time. Probably eating dinner. Anyway, if you're wondering, yes, I've been to live events. I've been to about 2 or 3, and then I went to 2010, 2011, 2012. I'm pretty sure. I think I saw the Shield live, which was pretty special, even though I can't really remember it. But if I did, I would be like, "Oh my God, I saw the Shield in real life!" Even all these years later, which was anyway. One of the live events I went to actually featured John Cena vs. R-Truth. Oh God, R-Truth. Remember when people took him seriously? No, me neither. Anyway, welcome to this WWE review. We're doing SmackDown Live, and tonight's show started off with Charlie Caruso, the announcer, the interviewer that no one knows, no one cares about. She approached Randy Orton backstage, and she mentions the main event with Alberto Del Rio. Well, not the main event, but the match between Alberto Del Rio and Randy Orton. Randy Orton says he's focused on Brock Lesnar, and that Lesnar may be big and bad, but it only takes one RKO to get to Viperville. Del Rio comes out of nowhere, and he said that Viperville sounds like a joke, something out of Disneyland. Orton offers Alberto a VIP experience in Viperville, but warns him that it is a bumpy ride and one hell of a landing. And Del Rio says that he will break Orton's arm, and then they go to the opening video. Mauro, Otunga, and JBL, a pretty good announce team. JBL still mucks up a bit, but yeah, they welcome us to the show. David Otunga's impressed me so far, actually. Bray Wyatt comes out to the ring, took his precious time, and Eric Rowan was with him. Then we have, he reflects on the Dolph Ziggler thing, says that Dolph had to use the exposed steel just to win, yada yada yada. So basically that goes on and on and on, and he says there is no red and blue. It is Bray Wyatt versus the whole damn world. Dean Ambrose comes out to a pop, and then calls a bunch of bullshit, saying whatever. Then Ziggler comes out, says whatever, pretty much. Ends with the Sister Abigail and the Wyatt family stand tall. They head back while Ambrose and Ziggler are in the ring, and then they promote American Alpha and Orton vs. Del Rio. They go to a commercial, which sets up the main event, which says here Ambrose is backstage with Ziggler. Ambrose says that Superkick wasn't an accident, and then Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon come in. They announce a tag team match for later tonight, between Ziggler and Ambrose versus the Wyatts, and basically they said if you're not down with that, well, screw you, just like Ziggler did to them last week. Next, two absolutely unoriginal names. I don't know what WWE Creative were doing when they came up with these names, but it doesn't really matter. Or they might just be these guys' independent names. I'm not even too sure. I know some of them are their actual independent names, like I think James Ellsworth, who's actually been working with the company. He was one of the for Adam Rose. I don't know, one of those party people, already forgot. And so yeah, we had American Alpha versus Mike Vega and Mikey O'Shea. Out comes all these other tag teams, including the Ascension. I was actually quite happy to see them. Then the Vaudevillains, I was actually quite happy to see them. And then Zack Ryder, Mojo Rawley, I don't think anyone was excited to see them. They come out, American Alpha destroy Mike Vega and Mikey O'Shea. JBL said in the match that one of them was King Kong Bundy's son, which got a laugh out of me. And then they announced that Eva Marie has a spectacular debut. They also mentioned that there could be a tag title coming to SmackDown, and basically a big brawl breaks out between all the teams, and American Alpha clear house, and they stand tall. And then we had the shittiest little oh my god, between Maurice, The Miz, and Renee Young. I felt bad for Renee Young, honestly. I don't know why Apollo Crews didn't come and attack him, but I guess he's a good guy and all that. It was just... And then we had this, which is even more... Is it more cancer? I don't think it's more cancer. Becky Lynch and Eva Marie... Frickin', we go out to the ring. Becky Lynch. Eva Marie's out next, and she has her grand... the spectacular, red everything, the malicious, the divine, Eva Marie. And then, basically she has a stage wardrobe malfunction. Oh my god, basically, WWE just doing anything to make sure she doesn't wrestle. Thank you, WWE, for making sure she doesn't wrestle, but please come up with some better ideas. Honestly, she's the worst. Eva Marie, oh my god, I don't know why she doesn't just leave and become a model. She'll make 10 times more money and everyone will love her, but, you know, no one likes her, really. Becky Lynch grabs the mic, says, you know what, I'm not doing this. I am going to face someone. I'm not leaving 2 weeks in a row. Come on, come and fight. And... cute Alexa Bliss, she comes out with a mic, says she's more than just a pretty face, she's hot, not pretty, yada yada yada, and then she says she will get off to the perfect start on SmackDown Live by defeating Becky Lynch. Then we have Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch. It was okay, and then Eva Marie's music hits, and the guy's like, Eva Marie is ready to compete, the malicious, powerful, evident... Eva Marie comes out, and she's like, I'm ready to compete! Alexa Bliss hits Becky with her move. I forgot what it was. It was a pretty decent move, though. And then she rolls up Becky for the victory, which makes her win, and then Eva says she'll make her debut next week. I'll just have to make my debut next week on SmackDown Live. Next we have Randy Orton versus Alberto Del Rio. Finally something that isn't horrible. And yeah, it was a quite decent match. Del Rio did a fantastic job in this match, I reckon. And then Randy Orton won via DQ, which was alright. Del Rio continues the assault on Orton. Del Rio hits him with a chair, waits for him to get up. Orton gets up. Okay, out of nowhere. Anything's out of nowhere these days. And everyone celebrates. Then we have Rhino backstage. Heath Slater walks in, says he needs his job for his 2 kids because he just brought a pool. Rhino says he's just winning something in Michigan, his bloody presidential mayor, and says he has I can't even read, I can't even see, sorry, I'm so tired and I don't know, I'm hyping myself up so I can stay awake while watching The Recruit. I'm just so tired. I was in the city all day for school, and yeah, it was quite decent. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. I wouldn't be joking about your online anyway, and then Rhino says he has people to impress and he can't help Slater. Rhino also says is your pool above ground or underground, in ground. Then Slater says he has 4 kids, and then they go over that in the match, like 8 kids, 7 kids. And then we get a bit of a segment where the Miz goes up on Scooby-Doo. Scooby throws Miz in the mystery machine, not the movie machine, because Miz was like, "Why aren't I the star of the movie?" And then basically Scooby commits a crime on live television by stealing the Miz's car and holding the Miz hostage. That's the childhood character we all know and love. Anyway, here's Slater vs. Rhino. In the match, the commentators kept saying, he's 18 kids, he's 13 kids, he's 7 kids. And basically Rhino picks up the victory. I thought Heath Slater was going to win. I was actually rooting for Heath Slater. I'm like, oh! And then I was like, oh! When he put his legs up on the rope. And then, yeah, this was a match I really couldn't predict over the night. Could have gone either way. I actually thought Heath Slater was going to lose, though. I had a feeling. And then Rhino picks up the victory. Rhino stands tall, and Slater is like... Eric Rowan and Bray Wyatt are somewhere. Wyatt says that Rowan has always been a great soldier, and says he needs to do what he does best tonight, which is destroy. Rowan slips on his... goat sheep mask, sheep, goat, I don't care, oh my god, and just says, run. So everyone runs, as you all do when the Wyatts tell you to run. Backstage, after the commercial, Slater runs in and throws a fit to Shane and Bryan, says, that they are losers, and says he's gone, he's too good for SmackDown anyway. He storms off, and Shane had a contract in his hand they wanted to offer Heath Slater. Otunga also mentioned in the match, a nice throwback to the Nexus, that he was actually rooting for Heath Slater, but Heath Slater had the IQ of a... I don't know what he said. Anyway, Carmella comes out with a F-A-B-U-L-O-U-S. And then Natalya tries to attack her, and then Carmella hits her, and then they go in the ring. They have a match which Carmella wins after a while. It actually looks like Natalya was going to win, but Natalya tapped out to Carmella, which was a good night for the NXT alumni, as both Alexa Bliss and Carmella won on their debuts. After the match, Carmella is shocked about her debut wins. She makes her exit, and Natalya goes. Then they show a preview for AJ Styles and John Cena, who, you know how I mentioned before about WWE being in Australia. Basically, AJ and John Cena and a lot of other superstars didn't feature on this SmackDown because they are on their way to Australia. I believe they're actually performing in Auckland right now, and then tomorrow they'll make their way over to Australia, where they'll wrestle in Melbourne, then Adelaide and Sydney. Yep. So that's why AJ, John Cena, and a few others didn't appear. Backstage, Corbin is beating Kalisto up, says, you know what, that was for costing me that Intercontinental Championship match, not title ship. Jesus Christ, I'm all over the shop. Baron Corbin leaves, and everyone's like, oh, let's check on Kalisto, because, you know, he just got mauled. Then we have the main event of the evening, finally. I don't know, I always seem to drag out the SmackDown reviews longer. I guess I'm just all over the shop today. Dean Ambrose and Dolph versus Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan. It was a decent match, I guess. It was kind of a bit boring. Dolph Ziggler goes ahead and bloody does this, does that. Ambrose does this, does that. Bray Wyatt does this, does that. Eric Rowan does this, does that. They mentioned Rowan's athleticism, yada, yada, yada. Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler ultimately win after Ziggler nails a super kick. After the match, Ziggler and Ambrose have their arms raised. Ziggler's like, hey man, good job, and patting Ambrose on the back. Ambrose gets up. Dirty deeds! And basically that was payback for earlier tonight, which we all know Dolph would have done as an accident, obviously. But Dean Ambrose and I don't know who's the face, I don't know who's the heel. Same with Darren Young, Titus O'Neil. oh my god, they really need to settle these things, don't they? Then everyone's like, yes, 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 Ambrose grabs the title, his music hits, we go to replays, SmackDown goes off the air with Ambrose looking in the ring with Ziggler like, oh, I just got betrayed by me best friend, no one likes me. And yeah, so that was it for this SmackDown. I guess I dragged it out way longer by talking about WWE Australia and by talking about the thing I did at school in Melbourne and just saying random shit, making fun of the show. Overall, it was an alright show. Didn't mind it. This week, both SmackDown and Raw were definitely the least strong weeks of the new era. They weren't too good. But I guess that's because of the major house shows that are coming up. Hopefully next week. It's the last week before SummerSlam, so they need a big build-up to build up all the matches. So yeah, I've been here to next time. Peace.